Hi, this is the Labour Law Report from the Democratic Alliance, Saturday the 5th of September 2020. Thank you for tuning in once again. We're going to deal with suspended officials of the UIF, the report from the Auditor General, and, happily, the extension of the TERS, which is the UIF emergency funding. I'm going to talk about the Chapter 9 institutions, such as the Auditor General, and hopefully they are going to do us proud in the future. This is Michael Bagram, the Labour spokesperson for the Democratic Alliance. Thank you once again for coming in. I want to just first of all tell you that we've had a torrid week this first week of September 2020. We're now over 5 months in the lockdown in South Africa. And as you know, the government has almost destroyed the economy. Not the pandemic, but the government has destroyed the economy. One of the promises made by our president right at the beginning of the pandemic, at the end of March 2020, over 5 months ago, was that the workforce of South Africa would not suffer and that they would get monies from the UIF, the Unemployment Insurance Fund. Well, right from that first week of April, I've been complaining, individuals have been complaining, companies have been shouting, and employees have been crying. It's been an absolute disaster. We've called upon the Minister of Employment and Labour on numerous occasions to come forward, investigate what's going on, tell us what's going on. If they can't handle it, hand it over, hand it to SARS, hand it to a private company, do something, but don't let people starve. But no, the Minister of Employment and Labour insisted on telling us that all is well, all is going well, people are getting their money, it's running smoothly. All those stories, real fairy tales. It's an unbelievable situation that we've been facing in this country. Well, with all these complaints and with lots of shouting and screaming, and even the President of South Africa, who does very little, has also been complaining about fraud, corruption, problems that are starting to be pointed out. Even the ANC can't actually avoid it anymore. They need to actually say that it's there. They try and hush everything up, but they need to say that it's there. Well, what we did here this last week is that the Auditor General, Kimi Makwetu, which is a Chapter 9 institution from our Constitution. These Chapter 9 institutions are pretty good. Most of them are functional. Well, the Auditor General is functional. The Auditor General has extended powers. Kimi Makwetu and his staff have the ability to go into any government institution, any one of them at all, and have a look very carefully with a fine-tooth comb. Have a look to see what is going on. Unbeknown to us, the Auditor General had stepped into the UIF, was having a careful look at the payment of these TERS funding, and they were starting to find real problems. It became a real problem when it appeared that the officials from the UIF weren't all that forthcoming with the Auditor General, but that didn't stop them. We can be proud of the Auditor General's staff who have had a look at it and are able to speak truth to power. This Chapter 9 institution from our Constitution is good, it's working, and we're getting results. Well, that's not fantastic news for all those companies that haven't received their TERS funding. For those people that certainly haven't been paid for July and August, because I don't know anyone that's been paid anything for July and August. It looks like there's been no payments at all. But at least the Minister of Employment and Labour had to step in and suspend the Commissioner. We've been speaking for 5 months now about Commissioner Marapeng, the head of the UIF. Well, he's been suspended. He's been put on precautionary suspension. It'll be interesting to see if they take disciplinary action against him, because at the moment he's on full pay. Unlike most of the workforce of South Africa, they're on full pay. But not only was he forced to suspend the Commissioner, but it looks like the whole top management team have been suspended. So the suspension has actually now taken place. We are waiting to see that if there are going to be any prosecutions, any disciplinary hearings, someone has to take the fall for this. I personally think the minister himself should be taking the fall, and of course that top management team shouldn't be there. They should not exist in those positions earning fancy salaries when the workforce of South Africa have suffered so badly. Okay, yes, there has been a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. We've now seen the report. The report is interesting. It is available for the public if anyone wants to see it. It's a lengthy report, but they're telling us all sorts of weird stories. People in jail getting paid, people under the age of 12 getting paid. What's actually happening? Dead people getting paid. We don't know yet who to blame, but we do know that it hasn't been properly run. But the workforce of South Africa could have told us long before the Auditor General could tell us. They could tell us what I've been hearing every day, hundreds and thousands of mails coming in, telling me that the fund is dysfunctional. Well, now at least we officially know. So yes, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Yes, we are shining that light very strongly on the fraud, the thieves, on the incompetence, which is probably the majority of it, just plain simple incompetence. Well, the good news today is, and one always says there's got to be a little bit of good news, is that at least it's been extended. The TERS payments will now take place up until the 15th of September 2020. And that extension means that you can apply for not only the monies for July, August, but now up until the 15th of September. So that will close at the 15th of September, but claim. You have from August to 15th September, you have until the 30th of October to claim that. Please make sure the employers claim, make sure if you're an employee that you get your employer to claim. The disaster is, of course, that no one has been paid for July, not a soul. No one's been paid for August, but we're hoping that that starts up. We have an interim commissioner, and that interim commissioner hopefully will get things going. So thank you for listening to me. It's Michael Bagram, Labour spokesperson of the Democratic Alliance, 5th of September 2020. Good luck.